And yet, God worked amazingly through other people, not us, other people, and she was fostering some kids, and they said, we want to go to church, and she said, well, I'm not going to a Catholic church, I'm an Anglican. Don't know why she thought that, but she did. So she went to the local Anglican church, which was this massive church with heaps of kids, and the kids fit in really well, and she heard the gospel, and she heard the gospel, and she heard the gospel. And then she moved in with us, and she came to church whenever we came to church, and she heard the gospel. And then one day we had John Chapman come, and he explained the gospel in the same way that Rob and I have explained it 1,000 times. But for her, something clicked, and she became a Christian 3 years ago here in May, which is pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. Yeah. It wasn't May, it was September. No, she moved in May. Chapo came later on. So, now, humanly speaking, man furthest from the kingdom. But for God, anything is possible. So what I want you to do is not thinking like that. Don't think there is no way that this person could come to faith. Because they could. Do you have questions?
If someone is dead, can they come to faith?
Someone's dead. Okay. I should have prefaced that with anyone alive.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you.
Check what your view on that was.
My view on that is it's up to God. But yes, if someone dies professing that they don't believe, and etc.
I have a question from last week that I forgot to ask.
Yes, go ahead.
Good memory.
Well, during the week, one of my kids came up to me at school and said, my dad said all the Japanese people deserve to die, the ones who did. What do you say back to us? Well, particularly this little girl was 6, but what do you say back to someone who said that? Because last week we were talking about that sort of stuff. And it felt mean asking, do you need, so I'll ask you instead.
Talking to the child is one thing, talking to the parent is another. That's a rough call, because when a child says, my daddy said that all these people should go to hell, you know, like, well, I'm sorry, but your daddy's ignorant. You know, that's just not going to wash really well with your kid.
No, didn't it?
I would say to a child like that, well, do you know, God knows a lot more about people than we do, and the people who died, it's a tragedy. Now maybe the dad is trying to, you know, give reasons for why this sort of thing happens.
She's a wife.
Sorry?
She asks 50 whys a day.
Yeah, she's a wife. But to an adult who said that, I would say, you actually deserve to die and go to hell. And so do I.
Sorry.
You know, when they, after they, you know, have their fit.
Sure.
After they have their fit, you know, if they're big and muscular, you might say, well, I deserve to go to hell, and so do you. You start off with yourself. Like we all deserve it. We all deserve judgment. We all deserve pain and suffering. Sorry, I was answering your question.
I was listening. Someone decided to rock the chair and freaked me out.
Okay. You know, we all deserve it. But God is gracious and merciful in some of us.
It's not always.
And
I'm listening.
yeah, I think next week we'll be back in there. Your children can't behave themselves. Well, if you can behave yourself. Yeah, so the issue is, but when you deal with a kid, I don't know what you say. Like that's really hard.
I just kind of went, that's really sad.
Yeah.
didn't really want to say, your dad's wrong.
Because if they're 6, their dad is basically like...
Yeah, that's right.
Like,
You can't.
When she turned around and said that they also call her stupid, I then said, you know, on that point, your dad's wrong. But I didn't say it on the first one.
Yeah, and you just got to be really careful with kids because you don't know the whole conversation.
Yeah, I was trying to broaden it to everyone, which is why I said all that person.
Okay. Other questions? Any other? Yes, Alex.
I don't understand verse 6. I know you explained it, but I don't know why. Like, I can't even remember what you said. But I just don't.
Don't throw your pearls to swine. Is that what?
Yeah.
Can you read
Don't
that?
give what's holy to dogs, and do not throw your pearls before swine, or they will trample them underfoot and turn and maul you.
Weren't the dogs the Samaritans?
No. There was Jesus says later in Matthew, calls a Syrophoenician woman a dog, but it's not necessarily what he means here. So he's saying the gospel is holy and precious and all that sort of stuff, and that's where he's going with this. People have been openly rejecting it. You're not going to enter into a long, developed argument with someone about that because it's pointless.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say don't invite people or don't tell them the gospel. But if someone's just fighting you, then you go, maybe another time, you know. And I think in one sense it's also respecting people because people need to be ready. People need to be ready to talk. Because if you just go, this is the problem I had with university ministry. Love university ministry. But some people would get the wrong idea and they'd just go out and harass people. Because if you go out on the library lawn and you go, hey dude, do you want to talk about Jesus? And they go, no. You go, you should just go, okay. Look, you don't want to talk, we're having a thing at 1, whatever. Come if you want, if you don't, it's cool. But some people go, do you want to talk about Jesus? And they go, no. So, but really, Jesus is a cool guy, you should talk about it. No, I don't want to talk about it. But you know, dude, I've got an exam in 45 minutes. I don't want to talk about anything except my biology. You know, so that person you need to sort of back off. And so I wouldn't necessarily call them swine, but it's, you know, you're not going to go anywhere with that. But someone who is openly hostile, openly rejecting, openly against everything that you say, and you say, hey dude, do you want to talk? And they go, no. You go, okay. I'm not going to, like, there's no point. Does that help?
Yeah.
Cool.
So you're not saying the other guy's a swine, you're saying the guy who's like,
because that'd be rude. That'd be rude. Jesus can do whatever he likes. I'm not going to say it.
Jesus is bigger than your biology.
Yeah. Jesus is bigger than your biology.
I heard someone say that once and I'm like,
Any other questions? Then let's pray.